All right, peace and blessings. It's Monday, January the 25th, the year 2021, and I have our very first letter from a prisoner in the system. His name is Stephen Nalty, Nalty, and I need to give a disclaimer right up front. If I read anything wrong in this letter, or if I say anything or pronounce anything wrong, this letter will be scanned and put in a Dropbox location. You can go to list of other prisoners on yearofjubilee.com. Jubilee is spelled with one E. Go down to Nalty, Nalty, and you can read the letter for yourself. These type of individuals put a lot of emphasis on the spelling of words, uppercase, lowercase, and the pronunciation of words. And I don't want to let my ignorance about his writing, or taint his letter, right? So, from what little I know, someone reached out to me and asked me to send him an introduction to our ministry, which I did. We have a introduction letter that goes to all prisoners. In that introduction letter, not only does it tell a little bit about our ministry, but it also asks some questions of the prisoner, and it tells them, what we're all about and things like that. So I sent him a letter, introduction letter with some questions, and I guess that's how he found out about us. And this is our first letter in response from him. He doesn't sign his letters on his return address as Stephen Nalty. The best I can tell, it's Stephen, Stephen dash John C. And then he has a circle around the N C. And I don't know what the significance of that is. So you look at the handwriting, you can look at the actual paper and make your own determination. From what little I know about this case, I am not an expert in this case. Many of you may know a lot more about this case than me. But they are kind of like a modern day Montana Freeman. Of course, Russell Landers is still in prison even today. This particular man, Stephen Nalty, his release date is an ungodly date, like 2056. I think he got 36 years in prison. The mainstream media will describe Stephen Nalty as an anti-government extremist, harassing government officials. Well, I don't know anything more American than harassing government officials. I don't think he threatened their life or violence against them, as far as I know. Like I said, you guys chime in the comment section and let me know what you know. There's another gentleman also associated with this group of individuals known as Bruce Doucette, and I'm also in the process of learning about him. But I think he got an ungodly amount of time as well, and I think the mainstream media refers to these gentlemen as sovereign citizens, anti-government extremists, and you know that anybody that stands up against the establishment gets the book thrown at them in order to try to set an example for the rest of us. So this is our first letter. I'm going to read it. I will also scan it, and you can read the letter for yourself. If you have any things you want to enlighten me about this case, you put it in the comment section. And here goes. It's written on January the 15th, 2021. Today's the 25th, so it took 10 days to get to me. From Nalty, Stephen John C with a circle around the N C, on behalf of Nalty, Stephen 178766. His prison mailing address will be put in the description as well as the comments, and I encourage you to write him a letter as well. Care of SCF Box 6000, Sterling, Colorado 80751. To Rudy and Aaron Davis, care of Box 2088, Forney, Texas 75126. Dear Rudy and Aaron, may God bless you abundantly for your work and purity of heart. The first concept that I would like to point out is that in the United States, and he capitalizes UNS for those that pay attention to these things, we have an injustice system run by satanic criminals. Well, on that point, Stephen Nalty and I certainly agree. So he says we have an injustice system run by satanic criminals, not a criminal justice system. So it's my impression in discussing these things with individuals of this type of belief system, they're always correcting my words. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. It's just I never can say the right phrase, But he does point out not a criminal justice system. We have an injustice system run by satanic criminals. I do not disagree with that statement. I passionately agree with that. It's a injustice system run by satanic criminals. Okay, you have a long list of questions, so I will dive right in. Number one, until I received your mail, I had no knowledge of your existence. Okay, that's probably me asking him how he knew about us, but somebody else recommended I mail him a letter, so I did. Number two, he writes, Yahshua, the son of Yahweh, is my Lord and Savior. Number three, I have a King James Bible. My real birthday is private. I have several prisoners who don't want to give out their birthday. He goes on to write, the birthday of my fictional debtor is July the 15th, 1949. Number four, I was kidnapped on April the 15th, 2017. So I asked him probably what his arrest date was. And so he's been in prison. It's getting close to 4 years, right? I have not seen freedom since I was kidnapped. The charges against my creditor, Nalty Stephen John, were all fabricated and are based upon ambiguous, unbonded color of law, clearly unconstitutional. I am a political prisoner and a victim of extreme retaliation for attempting to get our public servants to obey the law, the Constitution, and the rule of law and God's law. Number seven, I have a support system. So he does have a support system. That's good to know. Number eight, I know of no way that people can learn about the atrocities which have befallen me. He said, I know of no way that people can learn about the atrocities which have befallen me. And then he puts in parentheses, perhaps you can help. Well, this is my attempt to help. I'm reading his letter on the internet and social media. I'm putting his mailing address, and I'm asking you to dig deeper into what you read about him in mainstream media. Write him a letter, ask him questions. Let's find out why our government or the state of Colorado, I don't even want to say our government, right? I can hear all my friends correcting me. It's not our government, right? I understand that. But let's find out why the state of Colorado gave this man a release date of 2056. That's 36 years, for goodness sakes. Why are they attacking our fellow countrymen and putting them in prison for such long periods of time? Isn't that worth an effort to try to figure out what's going on? What did this man do to get 36 years in prison? Did he murder a cop? Did he molest a child? Did he rape a woman? Did he rob a bank? Did he make bombs? I mean, 36 years is a long time, right? And you don't see that kind of time put on people that commit heinous activities. And so I think it warrants us to pay attention to what's really going on. You say, well, I don't believe like Stephen Nalty does. You may say that, right? Well, it doesn't matter. I don't care what you believe or what you don't believe. You probably don't care what I believe, what I don't believe. Just because somebody believes something different doesn't mean you stick them in prison 36 years. Okay, number 9. I would like to call you. Okay, so he is open to calling me, so that's good. We may be able to hear from his own voice. Number 10, I have no access to the prison email system, so we can't email him through any prison system. I just had to ask. Number 11, because I have the blessing of Yeshua and Yahweh, I only need the blessings to play out. Okay, so he has a good attitude that God will protect him, and God is, all things work together for good to those who trust in God and call upon him. Number 11, people can help me and us by co-creating a meme through prayer, meditation, and visualization for a better United States of America and a better earth full of abundance, peace, love for all of us. Okay, well, that's his words. You can write to him and let him know what you think about that. Number 12, I have no book requests, so he's not requesting any books. Number 13, I have a copy of the indictment. I do not have trial transcripts. I probably asked him if he had the trial transcript. Number 14, I will work up a brief write-up of what happened and mail it to you. Okay, good. I usually ask prisoners to write like less than 5 pages, something I can read from their perspective of why they're in jail and what happened to them, because a lot of people are not going to go read the trial transcripts. They're just going to believe one little article on Southern Poverty Law Center, right? SPLC, I think, has written about this guy. So I'm not 100% sure, but I do recall something when I looked up his name that I saw something from SPLC. I assume it's about him, maybe Bruce Doucette. But listen, we got to figure out what's going on with the FBI and the Department of Justice handing out sentences like this. And we've got to educate ourselves. And I encourage you to write Stephen Nalty a letter. Share your testimony about Jesus Christ. Give him an encouraging word. And let's dive into this and let's try to figure out, what's going on and how we can encourage our countrymen who've been incarcerated by what we both agree on. Stephen Nalty and I passionately agree on is that we have how did he word it? Let me find it we have a injustice system run by satanic criminals. Injustice system run by satanic criminals. Well, I certainly agree with Stephen Nalty on that. He signs off the letter by very truly yours, Nalty Stephen John C, if I'm reading that correctly. And then he puts UCC, which probably stands for Uniform Commercial Code 2017-2106-914, which I have no idea what that means, but maybe you can enlighten me. All right, well, that's our first letter from Stephen Nalty. I also encourage you to write him a letter. Let's go deeper than the lying mainstream media, and thank you for your time.